Hello friends, Steve Stockton here with you. Welcome to our latest video. Every year, many people set out on expeditions to discover the wonders of nature. Although most of these expeditions are successful and uneventful, there are some areas where individuals continue to vanish without a trace. These enigmatic disappearances happen in places like the famous Bermuda Triangle or the expansive wilderness of our national parks, leaving us perplexed, intrigued, and seeking answers. In this episode, we'll examine 13 places where people disappear into the ether without rational explanation. Join me, let's walk and see. First up, the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle, or the Devil's Triangle, is situated in the Atlantic Ocean near the coasts of Bermuda, Puerto Rico, and Florida. It is infamous for its mysterious disappearances and is also referred to as the Devil's Triangle. The region covers an area of around 500,000 square miles. It's believed to be a hub of UFO sightings and paranormal and supernatural occurrences. Reports of strange events in this area date back to the time of Christopher Columbus. In March 1918, the USS Cyclops, a collier that assisted U.S. warships in different areas, vanished with all crew members during World War I. The possibility of the Cyclops being sunk by a German submarine led to numerous search efforts, but the wreckage has yet to be found, leaving its disappearance a perplexing enigma. The lack of a distress signal and any sign of its location further adds to the mystery. Then at 2 p.m. on December 5, 1945, Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor led a team of 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers on a navigational training flight from the U.S. Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Lieutenant Taylor was an experienced naval aviator who had flown extensively during World War II. The group of planes, known as Flight 19, had been assigned Navigation Problem Number 1, which involved flying east from the Florida coast, conducting bombing runs at Hens and Chickens Shoals, turning north, flying over Grand Bahama Island, and then returning to NAS Fort Lauderdale. The weather was expected to be normal, with just a few scattered showers. During the initial part of the flight, the team successfully released practice bombs without any issues. However, as they turned north for the second leg of the journey, Flight 19 encountered problems. At around 3:45 p.m., the flight tower in Fort Lauderdale received a message from Taylor, who sounded anxious and disoriented. He reported, "I cannot see land. We appear to be off course." The tower asked for their position, and there was a few moments of silence. Tower personnel peered into the clear day in the directions where the planes were supposed to be operating, but there was no sign of them. "We cannot be sure where we are," the flight leader announced. "Repeat, cannot see land." Communication was interrupted for roughly 10 minutes, and upon its resumption, the voice heard was not that of the flight leader. The voice reported that they could not locate west and that everything appeared incorrect. They could not be sure of any direction, and everything seemed unfamiliar, including the ocean. Following a further pause, tower personnel intercepted transmissions indicating that the flight leader had relinquished command to an unknown pilot for undisclosed reasons. The new leader's voice finally broke the radio silence after 20 minutes, but it was shaky and bordering on hysteria. They reported that they were lost and unable to determine their location. The pilot mentioned that they might be around 225 miles northeast of the base and continued to ramble incoherently before uttering the last words ever heard from Flight 19. They said they were entering white water and confirmed that they were utterly lost. In response, the tower quickly dispatched 2 PBM Mariner flying boats equipped with rescue equipment. The rescue team was looking for Flight 19's last known estimated position. They communicated with the tower 10 minutes after takeoff, but sadly, that was the last time one of the rescue planes spoke with Fort Lauderdale's flight operations. This event caused 6 aircraft and their crew to go missing. The Coast Guard, Navy, and Naval Aviation personnel searched over 25,000 square miles of Atlantic and Gulf waters for 5 days, but found nothing. The Flight 19 tragedy resulted in the loss of 14 men, while 13 more were lost during the attempted rescue by PBM Mariner. Many theories attempt to explain different phenomena, ranging from environmental factors and human mistakes to hexagonal clouds, methane hydrates, electronic fog, the lost city of Atlantis, and yes, even the paranormal. Despite this, the most likely explanations for most occurrences are inclement weather and human error. Next, we have the Saraso Sea. The Saraso Sea is renowned for its powerful undercurrents that deter many sailors. It is also well known for phantom ships, with the Mary Celeste, a British merchant ship found adrift in the Saraso Sea on December 5, 1872, with no crew on board, being the most widely recognized. Ocean currents surround this vast section of the North Atlantic Ocean, and it is well known for the floating sargassum seaweed. The Saraso Sea is distinct because it is defined by ocean currents rather than land, resulting in a unique ecosystem home to a diverse range of plant and animal life. Scientists have conducted extensive research and exploration on the Saraso Sea to comprehend the intricate interactions among the ocean currents that converge in this region and the diverse marine life that inhabit it. In 1969, a British businessman and amateur sailor, Donald Crowhurst, went missing when his yacht got stuck in the Saraso Sea. He participated in the Sunday Times Golden Globe Race, a solo global sailing competition. Unfortunately, his ill-equipped boat started to fill with water. Now, there are clues in Crowhurst's 3 logbooks, a tape recorder, and a 16mm camera found on his yacht, which suggested he began to cable home false trip reports about speed and position 2 weeks into the race once he realized his inadequate vessel would not win. It is assumed that he went overboard, either intentionally or accidentally, and drowned. The boat showed no signs of a rogue wave or accident that could have caused Crowhurst to fall overboard. The logbooks also detailed how Crowhurst was slowly losing his mind as he drifted aimlessly and alone in the ocean, writing a 25,000-word essay on time travel. "It is finished," he wrote in the logbook at the end of June 1969. "It is finished. It is the Mercy. I will resign the game." Crowhurst's body has never been recovered. Over time, the Saraso Sea has become known for its intriguing incidents of regional disappearances. Despite widespread speculation and folklore, no concrete evidence suggests that anything beyond natural phenomena, such as storms and rogue waves, is accountable for these disappearances. The Saraso Sea remains a crucial area of focus for scientists and researchers who aim to comprehend the intricate relationships between ocean currents and the diverse marine life in this exceptional ecosystem. And now, the Michigan Triangle. The Michigan Triangle, also known as the Lake Michigan Triangle, is in North America's Great Lakes region. The cities of Ludington and Benton Harbor in Michigan and Manitowoc in Wisconsin generally define the triangle. The Michigan Triangle has a troubling past of ships disappearing without explanation. The earliest reported occurrence goes back to 1891, when the Thomas Hume, a schooner carrying lumber, vanished without a trace. 117 years later, the ship was identified with close to complete certainty at the bottom of the southern part of Lake Michigan. Over the years, several other ships have met with the same fate in the region, including the Rosabelle in 1921, the SS Francisco Morazan in 1960, and the Carl D. Bradley in 1958. It is believed that more than 30 vessels have been lost in this mysterious triangle. And it's not only ships that have disappeared. On June 23, 1950, Flight 2501, a Northwest Airlines DC-4, vanished over Lake Michigan while traveling from New York to Minneapolis with 55 passengers and 3 crew members on board. The Michigan Shipwreck Research Association, or the MSRA, a Michigan-based nonprofit, conducts an annual search for the missing airplane. The investigation began in 2004 as a collaboration between Clive Cussler, an author and explorer, and the MSRA. Cussler withdrew from the project in 2013, but his side-scan sonar operator returned to Michigan in 2015, 2016, and 2017 to investigate some leads uncovered by the MSRA. In 2008, a mass grave was found containing the remains of some of the 58 victims of Flight 2501. The grave was unmarked and located in a St. Joseph area cemetery. A black granite marker with the victims' names was placed in Riverview Cemetery in a ceremony attended by 58 family members. The main wreckage of the aircraft has never been found. Now, many theories exist about the disappearances that occur in the Michigan Triangle. Some suggest supernatural causes like curses or hauntings, while others attribute natural phenomena such as storms, currents, or magnetic anomalies. Moreover, some individuals suspect that human error or foul play is responsible. Despite the potential hazards, some people still opt to explore the Great Lakes and unravel the enigmas of the Michigan Triangle. Next, we have Lake Superior. Lake Superior is the largest of the Great Lakes in North America and is famous for its stunning beauty and rich natural resources. However, it is also notorious for mysterious disappearances that have puzzled experts for years. The lake's harsh winds have caused several ships to sink over time, with some vessels vanishing without any evidence in the frigid and murky depths of the lake. There have been reports of people going missing in this area since the 1800s. The earliest recorded incident occurred in 1816, when a fur trader named Jean Baptiste crossed the lake with a group of Native Americans. According to legend, Baptiste was taken by the spirits of the lake and was never seen again. The Edmund Fitzgerald shipwreck is a famous and intriguing event in Great Lakes history. It's second only to the Titanic in media coverage, literature, and movies. Gordon Lightfoot's ballad, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, brought attention to the ship in 1976. The Edmund Fitzgerald sank in 1975 with 29 crew members on board near Whitefish Point, Michigan. The Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum has conducted 3 expeditions to the wreckage site. The Edmund Fitzgerald left Wisconsin with iron ore pellets on November 9, 1975. The ship was soon accompanied by another vessel, the Arthur M. Anderson, and radioed with the captain, Bernie Cooper. Aware of an approaching November storm from the Great Plains to the Great Lakes, Captain McSorley and Captain Cooper decided to take a northerly course across Lake Superior. This route would protect them from the highlands on the Canadian shore and take them between Isle Royale and the Keweenaw Peninsula. They later turned southeast to reach the safety of Whitefish Point. Weather conditions continued to deteriorate. Gale warnings had been issued at 7 p.m. on November 9, upgraded to storm warnings early in the morning of the 10th. While conditions were terrible, with winds gusting to 50 knots and seas at 12 to 16 feet, both captains had often piloted their vessels in similar conditions. In the early afternoon of November 10, the Fitzgerald had passed Michippicotten Island and was approaching the Caribou Island. The Anderson approached Michippicotten about 3 miles off the West End Light. At 3:30 p.m. that afternoon, Captain McSorley radioed Captain Cooper and said, "Anderson, this is the Fitzgerald. I have a fence rail down, 2 vents lost or damaged, and a list. I'm checking down. Will you stay by me till I get to Whitefish?" McSorley checked his speed to allow the Anderson to close the distance for safety. Captain Cooper asked McSorley if he had his pumps going, and McSorley said, "Yes, both of them." As the afternoon wore on, radio communications with the Fitzgerald concerned navigational information, but Captain McSorley offered no extraordinarily alarming reports. At about 5:20 p.m., the crest of a wave smashed the Anderson's starboard lifeboat, making it unusable. Captain Cooper reported winds from the northwest by west at a steady 58 knots, with gusts to 70 knots and seas of 18 to 25 feet. According to Captain Cooper, at about 6:55 p.m., he and the men in Anderson's pilot house felt a bump, felt the ship lurch, and then turned to see a monstrous wave engulfing their entire vessel from astern. The surge worked its way along the deck, crashing on the back of the pilot house, driving the bow of the Anderson down into the sea. Captain Cooper stated, "Then the Anderson just raised up and shook herself off all that water, baroof, just like a big dog. Another wave, just like the first one or bigger, hit us again. I watched those 2 waves head down the lake toward the Fitzgerald, and I think those were the 2 that sent her under." There are still conflicting theories about what caused this tragedy. The 3 expeditions conducted by GLSHS revealed that the ship likely submerged bow first into a large body of water, as damage to the front suggests a sudden and powerful impact on the superstructure. Despite extensive investigations, there's no conclusive evidence to determine what caused the sinking. Still, the most probable cause was a loss of buoyancy and stability from massive cargo hold flooding. The ship's bell is now on display at the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum as a memorial to honor the lost crew. There are various theories surrounding the disappearing cases in Lake Superior. Some propose that supernatural beings or the lake's unpredictable weather conditions and currents may be responsible. Others think that the depth of the lake and its extremely cold temperatures could be the main culprits, as divers and rescue teams find it challenging to locate wreckage or bodies. Lake Superior has been an important source of fresh water and fish for thousands of years. It's also been the location of significant cultural and historical events and has played a substantial role in developing the Great Lakes region. Although there have been unsolved disappearances on the lake, its breathtaking beauty, abundant resources, and cultural significance continue to inspire awe and wonder among those who visit its shores. Next up, the Devil's Sea. The Devil's Sea, also known as the Dragon's Triangle, is in the Pacific Ocean off the south coast of Japan. This area is infamous for its dangerous and mysterious reputation due to its connection to the disappearance of numerous vessels and fishing boats. Shrouded in mystery and surrounded by myth and legend, its importance is comparable to that of the Bermuda Triangle. Japanese folklore tells of a dragon that inhabits the area and guards a palace at the bottom of the ocean. The dragon is said to cause strange and dangerous occurrences in the region, including unexplained lights, whirlpools, and sudden storms. During the 1940s and 50s, numerous fishing vessels and over 5 military ships vanished in the waters between Miyake Island and Iwo Jima. Japan responded by dispatching the research vessel Kyomaru No. 5 in 1952 to investigate the missing ships that had reportedly disappeared in the Dragon's Triangle. Regrettably, the 31 crew members who embarked on the research vessel to explore the Devil's Sea met the same fate as the crews of past ships. Although the Kyomaru No. 5 wreckage was eventually discovered and recovered, the location of the crew members is still a mystery to this day. The Devil's Sea is a location that has captivated people from all over the world. Experts believe that natural phenomena like rogue waves, volcanic activity beneath the sea, and strong ocean currents may cause the disappearances in the area. Next up, the Alaska Triangle. The Alaska Triangle is a vast expanse of rugged terrain located in the southern Alaskan wilderness. This area has been the site of numerous mysterious disappearances that remain unexplained. The region comprises rough, icy mountains and tundras, with a significant portion yet to be explored. The triangle's boundaries are typically considered the space between Anchorage, Juneau, and Barrow. The strange vanishings in this area have perplexed investigators and given rise to various theories about what could happen in the Alaska Triangle. The Alaska Triangle has a lengthy history dating back to the early days of Alaska's settlement. The local Native Americans believed that the area was cursed and that anyone who entered it would never return. However, in the 20th century, the enigmatic disappearances that made the Alaska Triangle famous started occurring. During its flight from Anchorage to Montana in the Alaska Triangle on January 26, 1950, a military transport plane carrying 44 passengers disappeared without a trace. Despite an extensive search, no wreckage of the Douglas C-54 Skymaster or any bodies were found. David Downing, the leader of the Yukon Civil Air Search and Rescue Association, stated that whatever happened to them must have occurred rapidly, as there was no indication of engine trouble or any communication. Since then, many people have gone missing in the Alaska Triangle without explanation. On October 16, 1972, two influential political figures, U.S. House Majority Leader Hale Boggs and Alaska Representative Nick Begich, disappeared in a small plane while flying over the area. The aircraft and its occupants were never located, despite a massive search effort. All were later declared deceased. Numerous unexplained disappearances in the Alaska Triangle have led to various theories about what could have caused them. Some people think a powerful magnetic force in the area could be responsible for planes and ships going off course. Others suggest the possibility of extraterrestrial entities or the spirits of the native Alaskans who once lived there. According to local legends, a Sasquatch creature also terrorizes towns. One example is Portlock, a settlement on the southern edge of the Kenai Peninsula that was abandoned in the 1950s after villagers were reportedly attacked and killed by an unknown creature they called the Nantinak. Not only are there supernatural theories, but there are also logical explanations for the disappearances in the Alaska Triangle. The region is infamous for its harsh weather conditions and challenging terrain, which can cause significant obstacles for search and rescue teams. Furthermore, the expansive wilderness can cause people to become lost and confused, mainly if they are unfamiliar with the area. The enigma of the Alaska Triangle and the cause of the disappearances in the region remains a mystery. While some theories may seem implausible, it is evident that something peculiar is happening there. We may never know whether it's due to supernatural forces or the harsh wilderness of Alaska. Next up, Yosemite National Park. Yosemite National Park is in California's Sierra Nevada mountains and boasts breathtaking granite cliffs, lush forests, and magnificent waterfalls, making it an ideal location for nature lovers. However, the park has a strange history of disappearances. Although some of these incidents can be attributed to accidents or natural causes, others remain mysterious and have given rise to various theories and legends. The case of Stacy Ara's disappearance in Yosemite National Park is widely known. In 1981, the then 14-year-old girl from San Rafael, California, went backpacking with her father in the park. They set up camp close to the Merced River, but Stacy vanished without a trace. Despite a thorough search effort, she was never located. A 30-year-old Army reservist and hiker named Joel Thomason had planned a solo hiking trip starting from Hetch Hetchy on September 6, 2021. He intended to fish in the Lake Eleanor area and return on September 9, 2021. However, he may have decided to extend his trip and heads toward Cherry Lake or even as far as the Grand Canyon of the Tuolumne River. Joel was likely carrying a kayak, which was packed in a large red pouch attached to the exterior of his backpack. Despite immense efforts, Joel has yet to be located. Yosemite National Park has had multiple occurrences of hikers, climbers, and backpackers vanishing. While some cases have been resolved, others remain a mystery. The reason behind these disappearances is disputed, with some suggesting a serial killer or malicious force, while others theorize supernatural or paranormal causes. Experts have identified accidents like falling or getting lost in the wilderness as the primary reasons for disappearances in Yosemite National Park. Even experienced hikers and climbers can be at risk if unprepared due to the park's vast and rugged terrain, emphasizing the importance of being cautious while enjoying the great outdoors. And now, the Nevada Triangle. The Nevada Triangle, also known as the Nevada Desert Triangle, is in the western United States and connects Las Vegas, Reno, and Fresno. This area has gained notoriety due to the mysterious disappearances of planes that have occurred there throughout the years. According to thorough research and documentation, over 2,000 planes have crashed in the region from Reno to Las Vegas and Fresno, California, though some experts dispute the actual number. Many of these incidents occurred between the late 1960s and the 1990s. The pilots involved in these crashes were either discovered later, confirmed to have passed away, or disappeared without a trace. Steve Fawcett, a well-known explorer and aviator, took off in a super decathlon from a small Nevada airstrip on November 3, 2007, but seemingly disappeared without a trace. Despite extensive search and rescue operations that lasted for weeks and cost approximately $700,000, Fawcett was not found until more than a year later. A hiker stumbled upon his scattered ID cards along a trail. A few days later, the crash site was discovered, approximately 65 miles from where the aviator initially took off. 2 bones were later recovered a half-mile from the crash site, which were found to belong to Steve Fawcett. Numerous theories have been suggested to clarify the disappearances that occurred in the region. These theories vary from human mistakes and mechanical failures to inexplicable happenings like magnetic abnormalities, unidentified flying objects, and even the possibility of government concealment. Nevertheless, these disappearances probably occurred due to pilot errors, rugged landforms, and sudden, unpredictable weather occurrences. Regarding Fawcett's case, the NTSB determined that he faced a substantial downdraft of approximately 400 miles an hour, which was too powerful for his decathlon to withstand. Next up, Pyramid Lake. In 1844, John C. Fremont named Pyramid Lake in western Nevada after a unique pyramid-shaped rock formation. It is a remnant of ancient Lake Lahontan, which existed during the last ice age and covered a significant portion of northwestern Nevada. The lake has clear water, unusual ecosystems, and impressive rock formation. The salinity is approximately 1/6 of that of seawater. An article was written by Brian Bauhaus of the Sierra Nevada Ally in 2020 about the disappearance of Brian Osberg and Bob Glennon. The two had gone fishing on Pyramid Lake in January 2016, but never returned. Despite regional authorities' efforts to locate them, they were unsuccessful. The families then turned to Bruce's Legacy for help, a volunteer organization led by certified scuba divers Bruce and Keith Cormican. In 2016, after negotiating with the Pyramid Lake Paiute tribe, Cormican was permitted to search for the missing fishermen. With the help of sonar, he located both bodies 130 feet underwater. Ongoing research is underway to discover the causes behind missing persons at Pyramid Lake. Some experts suggest that the lake's erratic weather patterns and water conditions could play a role in accidents and disappearances. Additionally, the rugged terrain encompassing the lake can make locating and saving distressed individuals challenging. Some speculate that supernatural or paranormal factors may be at play, while others attribute it to mishaps or criminal activity. Pyramid Lake attracts many outdoor enthusiasts and tourists, but visitors should be cautious of potential hazards in the area. And what about Pecos, New Mexico? Pecos, a town in San Miguel County, New Mexico, is charming, with a long and rich history dating back over 10,000 years to the pre-Columbian era. Pecos National Historical Park serves as a preservation site for the remains of Pecos Pueblo. This Native American settlement flourished from the 14th to the 17th century, as well as the 17th century Spanish mission. In the past, many people have gone missing without explanation in the vicinity of Pecos. Experts believe there may be a triangle of paranormal activity in the area. For example, in 1956, a family of 4 vanished mysteriously while camping in the nearby wilderness. Despite thorough searches, no evidence of their location was discovered, leaving their disappearance a mystery. Mel Nadel, 61 years old, disappeared on September 6, 2009, while hiking with 2 companions in the Elk Mountain area outside Pecos. This forest area consists of trails, private lanes, and logging roads. Depending on location, one can see the lights of Pecos and Santa Fe, as well as cabin lights at night. The quadrant is full of landmarks, including the Sangre de Cristo Mountains and the downward slopes of the Pecos Valley. Mel parked his 2001 Jeep Cherokee beside his friend's vehicles and approached the base camp near Forest Road. After discussing their plans, Mel's 2 friends went into the backcountry around 4:30 p.m. to hunt elk. On the other hand, Mel decided to build a blind near the camp. He was content with whatever came his way, whether he caught something or not. When Joe Muniz and his brother-in-law returned to the base camp at 7 p.m., they couldn't find Mel. They searched the camp and the surrounding area, but couldn't locate him. Mel's Jeep was parked off the dirt road near the hunters' vehicles, which meant he had yet to return to Santa Fe. Worried that Mel might be lost, the hunters sounded their air horns and fired their weapons to help him find the camp. When they realized enough time had passed, they called the authorities to report Mel missing. The search for Mel began the following day and soon became one of the most extensive operations Pecos, New Mexico had ever seen. Hundreds of official and non-official rescuers scoured the area in search of Mel using various means such as airplanes, helicopters, all-terrain vehicles, equestrians, tracker dogs, and people on foot. However, Mel was unfortunately never found. Despite the extensive investigation, his disappearance remains a mystery. Mel's arrows, bow, or clothing was never located in the area where he went missing. There are varying opinions on the disappearances in this area. Some believe they may be due to supernatural causes, while others suggest more common reasons, like foul play or accidents. Despite the unsettling reports of disappearances in Pecos, it remains a popular destination for tourists and outdoor enthusiasts alike. The region offers a variety of outdoor activities, including hiking, camping, fishing, and hunting, and is home to several stunning natural landmarks. Now, the Superstition Mountains. The Superstition Mountains in Arizona are famous for their rough landscape, stunning scenery, and captivating past. Nevertheless, various disappearances from the 1800s have given them a mystical and creepy reputation. According to legend, there's a hidden gold mine deep within the rough terrain of the mountains. Many treasure hunters have been intrigued by this and have ventured into the hills, but some have yet to return. In the early 1900s, an experienced prospector, Adolph Ruth, disappeared while searching for the rumored gold mine in the Superstition Mountains. In 1931, Harvey Mott discovered Ruth's punctured skull lying under a tree. The medical examiner believed the puncture was due to an Army-style .44 caliber revolver. Additional remains and some of Ruth's possessions were later recovered. In 1948, the partial remains of James A. Cravey, a retired photographer who disappeared while searching for the Lost Dutchman mine, was recovered by two men visiting Arizona. Cravey was the 20th reported person to perish at that time while searching for the infamous lost mine. The Superstition's rough and uneven terrain and unpredictable weather conditions render it a hazardous location to explore, with a significant possibility of getting lost or injured. This is considered a contributing factor to the region's high count of missing people. Despite tales of missing persons and mythical gold mines, the Superstition Mountains still draw in adventurers, hikers, and excitement seekers. Next, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park is situated on the boundary between Tennessee and North Carolina in the eastern part of the United States. It's a vast wilderness region famous for its stunning natural beauty, diverse wildlife, and cultural importance. Nevertheless, the park has been linked to several mysterious disappearances. According to the National Park Service, there have been over 1,600 disappearances since President Franklin Roosevelt formally dedicated the park in September of 1940. On June 14, 1969, 6-year-old Dennis Martin went missing while playing with his family in the park. He was never found, despite a thorough search involving hundreds of people, and the case remains unsolved. On October 8, 1976, Trini Gibson, who was 16 years old, was hiking with around 40 students from Bearden High School in Knoxville when she disappeared. Fellow students last saw Gibson as the group hiked back from Andrews Bald to the Clingman's Dome parking area. Trini has never been found. Some attribute the region's rugged landscape and erratic climate as possible reasons for these disappearances, but others propose the possibility of a curse by Native American spirits or even the presence of paranormal entities. To help visitors stay safe while exploring the wilderness, the National Park Service increased the number of signs and educational programs. The park remains a place of mystery and intrigue. And lastly, the Bennington Triangle. The Bennington Triangle in Vermont centers around Glastonbury Mountain and covers approximately 25 square miles of woodland, including Bennington, Woodford, Shaftesbury, and Somerset. Even among the indigenous population, the area was seldom visited except for ceremonial purposes, such as disposing of the dead. Stories were told of bear-like creatures that would silently follow people through the forest, only to catch and crush them to death. Additionally, a rock that appeared like any other would unexpectedly open and drop an unsuspecting person into a seemingly endless pit, never to be seen again. During the 1940s and 1950s, there were 6 disappearances in the area. In 1943, Carl Herrick and his cousin Henry were hunting and got separated. Henry returned to their campsite, but Carl never did. As darkness crept in, Henry contacted the authorities. After a 3-day search, Carl's body was found with his rifle against a tree 70 feet away. An autopsy later ruled that Carl was, quote, squeezed to death, end quote. In 1945, 4 hunters, led by 74-year-old Mitty Rivers, hunted close to Long Trail Road and Vermont Highway 9. Mitty went off alone and promised to return before lunch, but failed to return. Despite an extensive search, no evidence was found regarding his whereabouts. On December 1, 1946, an 18-year-old college student named Paula Weldon went missing while hiking the famous Long Trail in the Bennington area. Despite a thorough search effort, no trace of Paula was found. In 1950, 3 more people went missing from the same area. Theories into these disappearances range from natural disasters such as flash floods or animal attacks to supernatural reasons like alien abductions or the involvement of the local folklore figure known as the Bennington Monster. The Bennington Triangle has long been a source of fascination for paranormal enthusiasts and curious visitors alike due to the mysterious disappearances that have occurred there. In conclusion, many people have disappeared in places like the Bermuda Triangle and the Bennington Triangle, where strange, often unexplainable events occur. Though rational explanations can account for many of these disappearances, some cases remain unsolved and continue to fascinate the public today. As we discover more about our natural world, these mysteries will continue to stimulate our curiosity and remind us of our limited understanding. Well, friends, there you have it. What do you think of these 13 places where people mysteriously disappear? I look forward to your comments, but please keep it friendly and respectful. Until we meet again, be good to yourselves and each other. Stay safe out there. As for me, I'll see you a little further on down the trail. I'm Steve Stockton, and I'll talk to you next time. And please, tell your animals I said hi.